battle at home. All right, so what are the causes of kleptomania? What are the causes of kleptomania? Differences in brain structure. Difference in brain structure. People with kleptomania are more likely to have certain differences in the structure of their brains, especially the area that manage impulse control and in gestation. There's an area of the brain that controls impulse. That area of brain that controls the way that urge to do things. So when people with differences in their brain structure are likely to suffer from kleptomania. So this is one of the causes. Differences in the brain structure, that area that manage impulse control in the brain. So people with this have the tendency to suffer from kleptomania. Then symptoms of other mental health conditions. These conditions are kind of interwoven, or they drag themselves into each other. Some experts classify kleptomania as a symptom and not a condition. It's likely common for people with kleptomania to have other mental health issues. It's likely with people with kleptomania to have other mental health issues, especially anxiety. We talked about when we talked about mental health disorder last week. We talk about anxiety, we talk about depression, we talk about eating disorder. And I say, you see people pile up a lot of food and they sit down and eat and say, this is who I am. No, it's a condition, it's an issue that you need to seek for help. Okay, so eating disorder. They also have high risk of self-harm. People with kleptomania also have high risk of self-harm or suicide. You see people wake up and want to commit suicide because there is something that is going on inside of them, depression, anxiety, that they cannot disclose with another. And the third one is genetic. This one is not particularly certain. Genetic is not particularly certain. Experts have not really confirmed if kleptomania can be inherited or if a family history raises one's risk of having kleptomania. But why we say genetic is that you see some sicknesses, some diseases, some conditions, some disorder are genetic. It is what is in the family. It is what is in the lineage. They are genetic. So kleptomania may likely be genetic. Traces of these other disorders. So kleptomania is likely, to be genetic. And when we are looking at some causes, there are some other things that trigger kleptomania, that leads someone into being a patient, especially like a child seeking of attention. We leave our children all by themselves. You leave your child of 5 years, 8 years, 10 years, all by themselves. So they seek for attention. Peer pressure leads people into this act. Peer pressure from children can trigger kleptomania, such as looking for acceptance or validation among their peers. Looking for acceptance among their peers. And also resisting of rules, such as being able to have what they want. Please. I remember a school that one of their rules is you can't send your child to that. They will send that child home, not as if the child is owing school fees or with a snack. When others are snacking, that child will be looking. And that is where those things are starting from. If you don't have the one of big money, you can come to the class where you are. But make sure that child has what other children are having, so that it won't lead into either begging or stealing. So some of them. So we need to be very careful with all of this thing. So what are some of the symptoms of kleptomania? The symptom of kleptomania is that a person acts on an irresistible urge or need to steal items or objects such which involves some of this I'll be mentioning. So the symptoms involve some of these things I will be mentioning. First, the items are not stolen out of necessity or for their values. You see someone steal what he has or she has no value for. You see someone steals what he or she does not even want or need. So these are the symptoms. People stealing things that they don't even need it. At the end of the day, they might throw it away. So this is one of the symptoms. The second one is once the emotions fade, most people with kleptomania feels guilty, ashamed, or regret for what they have done. You see people steal, you see them pick some, let me not use the word steal, you see them pick something. Once that positive emotion of the urge to steal fades away, some throw stolen items away, or they will secretly return it or even pay for it later, because the emotions have faded away, because that urge is no longer there. They throw stolen items away. These are some of the symptoms. You know that this person is not just normal. She or he is suffering from kleptomania. Is a disorder that one needs to tackle. They throw the stolen items away. Either they return it to the owner or they go back to pay for it, because they are already remorseful, feeling that guilt inside of them, because it has faded away. Then how can we help people who are suffering from this? How do you and I help them out of it? We've seen the causes, we've seen the symptom, we've heard what kleptomania is all about. How then can you that you're watching me, you that you're listening to me, how can you and I be a plus to their life to get out of this condition? This and more we'll be talking about when we get back from this break. Please do not touch the dial. We will be right back. All right, you all welcome back. This is Healthy Corner here on View Radio, and we are talking about kleptomania. Please, I want to beg you, comment, like, and share this video. You don't know who needs to hear this. You don't know who needs your help, and this is what you're going to be rendering for somebody in the first working day of the week. Wow, that is great. So do well to share this broadcast. Okay, so we're talking about how to help one with kleptomania, or probably have to help yourself if you're suffering from this kleptomania. There's no standard way to treat kleptomania. That's partly because people with kleptomania rarely seek help or care on their own. But nevertheless, the most likely way fall into some of these categories. You know, people with kleptomania, they said they feel ashamed of coming out to seek for help. Okay, this person in question that I encountered last week, really getting better. Like when I say he's getting better, he is getting better. So when he was sharing his ordeal and then ordeal stroke testimony, he said, "Ma, I can't believe that I can see things." This person went ahead to steal, POS, to steal POS paper, like this paper that POS use to print out receipts. So he said, "Ma, like now I don't have that urge again. I don't have that feelings again." So most the treatment or the way out falls into some of this category I will be mentioning. And first is medication. Yes, you heard me right. There is medication for kleptomanians. Yes, there is medication for it. One of the first line treatment is medication. This medication blocks the positive emotions a person feels when stealing, which helps a person resist the urge to steal. This is what the medication does. It blocks that positive emotions you feel when you're stealing. So it will help you resist. It will help you curtail. It will help you control that uncontrollable urge to steal. This is what this medication does. And the second one is physiotherapy. When was the last, when I say people, you just do self-medication, you just do it all by yourself. No. Physiotherapy, also known as mental health therapy or behavioral therapy. This usually involves helping a person understand why they do some certain things and then helping them develop with your health care provider or your therapy. Don't tell the person the pains are in your right hand while actually the pains are in your left hand. Then you have no result. There is no result coming anywhere or anytime soon. So be honest with your healthcare provider or your physiotherapy about what you experience or what you are experiencing. It is very common for people with kleptomania to feel guilty or ashamed, but your healthcare provider or your therapy, their job is not to judge you, to help you out. Take your medication if prescribed. Don't skip. If you're seeking for help and they prescribe a medication for you, please and please take you people with kleptomania. Don't just stop all of a sudden. Don't think you are getting better and stop if your healthcare provider have not told you to do so. It can be dangerous and it can be harmful for people with kleptomania. And then find strategies to adapt. Adapt a strategy that works for you. This person in question shared one of the strategies that the parents laid down for him. It's not a child. It's someone of 30-something years. Someone in his early 30s. And he said one of the strategies the parents laid down for him was he cannot go to either shopping mall, either to buy something or to get something alone. At least 2 people were accompanying him. And then they cannot shop in an open, in an hidden place. You have to shop where people's eyes are on you. You have to go to places where people's eyes are on you. All of these strategies will help you curtail the urge for stealing. So find strategy to adapt or that will work better for you. Many people with kleptomania can compensate for their condition by finding ways to avoid the temptation to steal. Example, you can decide to always shop with people or in a place where it will be difficult to steal. I said that earlier. You can decide to shop with people or in a place where it will be extremely difficult for you to steal. Seek help from a therapist or a counselor to help advise you in some strategies that you can put in place. Seek help. Don't be quiet. Don't be silent. Don't think everything is okay. If you see these traces in your children, if you see these traces in anybody you truly care about, please help them find help. Help them to come help, because they actually knew that what he was going through is not the devil, and they seek help and they got help, and thank God today he is far better than he used to be. So take strategy, adapt a method that will work best for you. Before I wrap up for this show, I want to leave you on this note. This is Healthy Corner. There is no wealthiness without healthiness. So make your health your priority, because if you are wealthy, if you are healthy rather, you will be wealthy. There is no wealthiness without healthiness. So my darling, make your health your priority. If you are healthy, of course, you will definitely be wealthy. That is all we have for today. See you tomorrow, next week, Monday, same time, same station. I remain your humble host, Madam Chi, and thank you to all of you for joining. Thank you for staying back. Thank you for sticking around. We truly and really appreciate it. And to the operation manager, thank you very much for doing what you know how to do best. Chukuli. Goodbye and have a blessed week ahead.